Chapter 3 Meeting Celestia. It was a bright and sunny morning in Ponyville, and most of the ponies were just starting to wake up. Gohan had just woken up himself. He did some stretching before getting out of bed. He went over to the nearby chair and put on his clothes. Fluttershy had let him sleep in his underwear since he only had one set of clothing. She had also watched it for him as he was sleeping. He thought it was a nice gesture and figured he would need to repay her hospitality, but he would need some time to think of something he could do. As he was putting on his clothes, he couldn't help but wonder what kind of adventures he would have today. He wasn't expecting to finish off, but he was still curious. While with his clothes on, he went into the kitchen. He thought he had smelled food being cooked, and he was right. Fluttershy had gotten an early start and decided to make breakfast for two of them. Lucky for Gohan, it wasn't anything grass or plant related. So not only did she stay up a little later than normal to wash his clothes, but she also got up early to make breakfast for them. She really was a super nice pony.
Good morning, Gohan.
I hope you slept well. I did. Gohan nodded and sat down at the table. The uppers had made some fried eggs. He offered to help her put the eggs in place, but she politely declined. With a special in her teeth, she put each individual egg on a plate. She also poured 2 glasses of orange juice and brought everything to the table, taking multiple trips, of course.
Here you go. I hope you like it.
This looks delicious. Thank you, Fluttershy. The two of them then started eating the fried eggs she made. The Saiyan had to admit Fluttershy was almost as good at cooking as his mother. The young Saiyan tried to slow down his eating, but he found it hard. The eggs were too good to eat slowly. As he finished eating, he sensed Rainbow Dash at the door. He heard her knock a few seconds later.
I'll get it,
the Chip Pony said as she opened the door. The pony knocking on the door was indeed Rainbow Dash.
Hey guys, I just can't tell you that Pinky needs you as a sugar cube corner.
Fluttershy nodded and she and the Saiyan followed Rainbow out the door. They began walking at a brisk pace, but the Saiyan was feeling a little uneasy.
So what does Pinkie Pie need as a super shoot corner?
He asked as he made the way across the Ponyville.
I don't know, something about an emergency.
Hearing that made Gohan concerned, so he decided to pick up the pace. Like a rocket, he took off and made it to Sugar corner in a few seconds. The two bikes just looked at each other. I guess emergency wasn't the right word, the Saiyan Mayor noted as they flew out to their friend. It took a little bit of time for them to catch up though. Gohan opened the door and walked in and the lights were turned off. He sensed a bunch of ponies in the room. Pretty much every pony in Ponyville was inside. Several questions came to his mind, and he had no answers. Seconds later, though, the lights came on.
Surprise!
Every pony in the room yelled. Pinkie Pie then jumped out of nowhere, trying to surprise the guests on even further. Although he thought that was Pinkie, his bad instincts had taken over. Just when it looked like he was going to punch her, his face stopped inch from her face. His face went black when he realized that he almost hurt one of his friends.
I'm sorry, Pinkie Pie. I need to punch you through the back wall.
He apologized for scratching back behind his head. The party pony just giggled in response, not at all caring that she almost received what would have been a very painful punch.
Oh, that's okay, Gohan.
She then clicked out.
I would personally like to welcome you to your party.
The pink pony flamed while finding her party in the air.
But it's not my birthday.
He noticed, he just now realized how crowded the bakery was. His senses were never wrong. Almost every pony in Ponyville had shown up to the party. At this point, it was pretty much mandatory to one of these events. The biggest reason being that if they didn't show up, they would have no idea who this new pony was. The rest of his friends were there too. They also wouldn't pass up a Pinkie party.
Pinkie Pie throws a party for every new pony in Ponyville,
Chloe explained with a smile as she used her magic to give Gohan a glass of punch. The half-saint looked around and noticed this place was full of balloons, streamers, food, and a few party games.
What a nice gesture,
he thought to himself.
Yeah, I forgot to throw you one yesterday, so I got right and you set it up.
The rest of her friends had helped too, with the exception for Fluttershy. They all wanted to make sure Gohan's party was the best it could be. So it's like when Cheese Sandwich came to town and he and Piggy engaged in a goof-off. Except this time there wasn't a goof-off happening.
Wow, thank you guys.
No problem, darling. We always help our friends, Rarity told him. At this point, the half-saint had officially become friends with the ponies and Spike. Of course, he had a feeling that he and the others would become good friends, and now it was official. A warm smile graced his face as those thoughts lingered in his mind. It seemed so rare for something like that to happen. That's not to say that he couldn't make new friends, but in his line of work, pretty much all of his focus was on training and saving the world. Now, though, he was able to relax and spend some time making friends. The party had been going on for quite a while, but every pony was having a great time. It shouldn't really have been a surprise that they were enjoying themselves. If every pony was having a bad time, then that would have been a major problem. The party had been going on for quite a while. Derby had gone out to where DJ Pawn 3 had set up her turntables. As they decided on what to play, Jessie took the microphone and sang along to a strangely familiar tune, which to some felt like some kind of theme song. Unfortunately, she didn't really know the words, and resorted to either making them up on the floor or simply muttering inaudible words. Looking for her, the partygoers didn't seem to mind, having too much fun to care about the bad singing. As the clumsy Pegasus tuned to sing, the party went on as normal. Some ponies were playing pin and tail on the pony, finding a surprising amount of enjoyment from such a simple game. Others were either snacking on tasty food or mingling with the other guests. All in all, everybody in the room was having a good time, which was expected for a party thrown by Pinkie Pie. Gohan was especially having a good time. He hadn't been to too many parties in his life. The ones he had been to hadn't been anything crazy, but this welcoming party was a lot of fun. While the Saiyan didn't have too many conversations with the other ponies, he was currently at the food table. The food he had this morning was good, but not nearly enough to fill him. So once he reached the food, he started stuffing his face. It was mostly desserts and junk food, chips, cookies, cupcakes, and some apple-flavored treats, but he really couldn't complain. His parents would probably wouldn't want him to eat so much junk food, but since they weren't here, he decided to have a little treat. One pony walked up to him. She had a dark tannish body. She had a gray mane and tail, as well as blue eyes. The mane wore a white collar with a teal bow tie of sorts. Her key markers were a rolled up scroll. So you must be Gohan, she assumed. He smiled at her. Yep, that's me. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mayor Mare, and as my name suggests, I'm the mayor of Ponyville. The Saiyan bowed gracefully, respectfully to the mayor. It's nice to meet you, Mayor Mare. The mayor smiled at the young man. I appreciate the respectfulness, but there's no need to bow to me, she told him politely. Anyway, I just came by to introduce myself, and if you ever need anything, just come by my office. I will, thank you, he said as he watched her as he walked away. Right as he was about to continue eating, Pinkie Pie bounced up to him with a smile on her face. Are you enjoying the party? Yeah, it's great. Thanks again. He smiled in return. He then chuckled as he watched the mayor bouncing up and down in front of him. He had to admit that the pink mayor was very energetic. She didn't guess loudly, concerning her friend slightly. Ooh, Gohan, you should do an energy trick, she exclaimed, loud enough for everyone in the room to hear. Her friends nodded, all of them wanted to see another one of his awesome displays. The majority of the opponents of the party, however, had never heard of energy before, and their puzzled faces conveyed that. Despite their confusion, they were all very curious. The prospect of energy intrigued them. To some, it kind of sounded like magic. So there was a party opponents done in agreement. Gohan paused for a moment, wondering if it was a good idea. Personally, he saw no harm in showing a tiny amount of his power. So long as he didn't destroy anything, he figured it would be fine. Alright. He thought what he should do. He had a lot of options. Suddenly he got an idea. Follow me outside and I'll do it. He could hear everybody cheer as he headed outside, leaving them to follow him. Once outside, he did a quick look behind himself, just making sure that every pony was ready. As soon as he was ready, he clenched his fist and started gathering his energy. Every pony, besides his friends, was in shock just from the white aura flame that formed around Gohan. One moment he was standing there as normal, the next he becomes engulfed in what looked like a magical aura. Little did they know that was only the beginning. They looked on full of curiosity as Gohan brought his claws together his left side. If at all possible, their eyes went even wider, the reason being the slowly spinning blue that formed within his claws. As he built up his chi in his hands, he picked a correct direction in which to fight the blast. Gah! Mate! He began, confusion in his onlookers greatly. The Saiyan chose to shoot the beam in the open area next to the big castle, which he figured was Canterlot. He couldn't sense anyone or anything with there, so there was nothing getting away. May! Ha! He shouted as he fired the beam of energy towards the sky with a huge boom. Gusts of wind blew out in all directions, and the ground behind him cracked lightly. The entire sky seemed to turn a shade of blue as the half-Saiyan fired the beam. It was quite a spectacle, and every pony couldn't help but be amazed by it. They were all speechless. Ooh, pretty, Pinkie Pie stated, her eyes transfixed in a bright blue beam. The beam continued its journey through the air, now reaching all the way into space. The young Saiyan kept the attack going before slowly bringing it to a stop. As he stopped expunging his chi through his hands, the starting point of the beam was left his hands and turned the rest of it on the way to outer space. Once the Kamehameha wave passed through, the sky began returning to normal. He then exhaled and turned around, only to be greeted by a sea of shocked faces. A long pause followed as every pony stared at the young man. That silence was broken by a huge eruption of cheering. They had never seen anything like that before in their lives. That being was more incredible than some of the best magic they had seen before. Some would argue it was even better than anything Celestia could do. Obviously, they kept those thoughts to themselves. That was so awesome! Rainbow Dash shouted after finally getting over her awe. She flew over and extended her hoof, confusing her friend.
Come on, don't leave me hanging.
Finally getting what she was doing, Gohan slapped his hand against her hoof. Well, I'm certainly glad he's on our side, after I whispered Twilight, who was still in shock about what she had just seen.
Come on, every pony. There's still more partying to be done.
Pig exclaimed as she bounced happily into the bakery. It took every pony a few moments to go back inside, as they were still pretty awestruck by what they had just seen. A few seconds later, and they all headed inside the bakery. Once inside, the pig main pony turned towards Saiyan.
I'm gonna go get something. Just take a seat and I'll be right back.
She bounced to the back room. The Saiyan walked over to the table that hadn't been used for snacks and grabbed one of the chairs. He put the chair out and sat down, although he found it hard due to the chairs being smaller than what he was used to. Despite the size difference, he was eventually able to get somewhat comfortable. Now he waited for his friend to return from the back. After a few moments of waiting, Pinkie Pie came back out with a vanilla cake with chocolate frosting, which she had made herself. She carefully walked over to the table, without wanting the cake to fall off her back and onto the floor. Luckily, she had experience carrying cakes and other desserts, so she was able to successfully place it on the table in front of her friend.
It's your cake. Now make a wish and blow out the candles.
Aren't cakes with candles in them just for birthdays? He questioned.
Well, when Pinkie
Pie throws a party, she makes it just as special as a birthday, the honest other pony explained. Gohan smiled at the gesture. He then thought about what he would want, which was difficult because he already had everything he could ever need. A few months later, though, he figured out what he wanted.
I wish I could see my father again.
With the wish immediately spoken, he blew out the candles. He remembered what happened at his birthday, and used less power to avoid ruining the cake. Luckily, he was able to successfully put out the tiny flames and leave the dessert intact.
Yay, woohoo!
Pinkie the pony shouted. He then began the cutting cake, making sure everyone would get a slice of it. She used her mouth to cut the knife, and her ninja skills to cut it. In practically no time at all, she had sliced the entire test into an equal amount of pieces. To a new friend, it was pretty shocking. For a pony also, they were used to it. Pinkie could do a lot of incredible things, and anything to do with desserts fell into that category. Once the cake had been cut, every pony grabbed a slice. Soon after, they all began eating, and it only took one bite to realize how delicious it was. Sounds of pure delight could be heard coming from the pony's mouths. The dessert was just as good as they expected it to be. In fact, it was even better than that. Gohan had finished his cake much faster than anyone else, including Pinkie Pie, who had finished hers a few seconds after.
That cake was delicious. Thank you, Pinkie.
Big Mirror smiled brightly in response.
Thanks, Gohan. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Just then, a chariot landed outside a strictly cute corner, one that was carried by 2 royal guards. Stepping out this vessel was Princess Celestia. She walked inside the bakery, and the princess made everything stop. The princess looked over the crowd, noticing all the different reactions she was receiving. Some were excited, others worried, and a few of them were confused. Her eyes then fell upon quite the strange creature. Said creature appeared to be standing on 2 legs, and its mane was very unruly. After getting over the shock, everyone quickly bowed to her.
Princess Celestia, what are you doing here?
Twilight asked, getting up from her bow to greet her former mentor. Celestia snuggled her thoughts and looked to her phone's unit. I looked outside my window and noticed a beam of light traveling into space. It came from point of view, so I decided to personally investigate. The ponies weren't nervous before, they were now. They were unsure if the princess was angry or not. She could have been angry because that beam could have hit her castle, or maybe she was impressed that somebody could fire a beam that far. Her tone was hard to read, as she was almost always spoke in a carefree yet dignified manner.
Oh yeah, that was a new friend Gohan,
Mom explained, leaving the princess confused. The half-saint walked up to the princess, ready to introduce himself.
It's nice to meet you, Princess Celestia. My name's Gohan, he bowed.
Celestia looked went from confused to shocked.
So you were the one who fired that beam into space?
He nodded.
Yeah, that was me. You wouldn't have to be from a planet called Earth, would you?
He nearly fell backwards. The young saint was sure that nobody knew where he was from. Except for his new friends, of course.
How did you know that? He questioned. You do look like an Earthling, but there's something else.
The princess sounded serious, making every pony nervous. The reason she knew what an Earthling looked like was because she studied Earth at one time. She didn't have too much information on it, but it was enough to know what kinds of species lived on that planet.
About 5 months ago, I could feel tremendous power in the distance. I had never found anything like it, and I'm sure other planets could feel it too. She explained, confusing almost every point in the bakery. It was coming from a faraway planet, which I discovered was called Earth. Gohan knew what she was referring to. You're talking about Cell, aren't you? Celestia nodded her head. She didn't know exactly what was creating the tremendous power, but she knew that the Saiyan would know. The half-Saiyan was still processing what she had just said. He had no idea Cell's energy could be felt from so far away. It probably shouldn't have surprised him, given how powerful Cell had become. It still caught him off guard, though. And if they could feel it all the way out in Crushia, he began to wonder if any other planets felt it as well. I wonder if they felt my power as well. Cell? Applejack questioned. They had Saiyan aside. Once again, he had to explain the monster known as Cell. It was a topic he didn't like talking about. He was a monster. He delighted in causing pain and killing people. He heard everyone gasp loudly, but he ignored it and continued. When he finally reached his perfect form, he held a martial tournament to decide the fate of my planet. If he won, he would have destroyed it and killed everyone in the process. He was once again feeling anger, but he was trying to keep his composure in front of the princess and every other pony. Celestia kept her calm demeanor, even though she was seething with rage on the inside. How could some pony decide innocent lives like that? She took a deep breath to clear away negative thoughts. And I'm guessing you were there. Yes, I fought and defeated Cell, he answered. The Aurora main was frozen. She had no idea that Gohan was the one who defeated Cell. With some point as powerful as Cell, she didn't think he could be defeated. And the fact that it was a little kid who did made her even more surprised. I never would have thought a child would be capable of destroying such a monster. Girls, would you join me outside for a moment? The main six followed the princess outside. Is there something wrong, princess? Twilight asked. There's something you should know about Gohan, my little ponies. She spoke in a very serious tone, and she only used that tone for very important information. What is it, princess? Fudge asked nervously. He has tremendous power. It is far greater than any pony else's in Equestria. Every pony gasped. They knew he was strong, but didn't think he was that strong. Even greater than yours? Birdie asked. Celestia paused for answering. If I fought him, I would lose. The jaws of every pony all hit the floor. To learn that their ruler, who is the most powerful pony of all Equestria, was nothing compared to the little kid left them all horrified. It also made them wonder if there were any more strong beings out there in the vast expanse of space. But they didn't really think about that too much, though. They didn't need any more trouble in the news today. So you're saying if Gohan ever, turned evil, he could destroy all of us? Don't smear asked with fear in her voice. He could. But I don't think we had to worry about that, Princess Celestia said while pointing inside. The other turned to see the same plain 10-10 pony with a smile on his face. I just want you to be aware of his enormous power level, and that it shouldn't be taken lightly. The ponies all nodded their heads. And be sure to look out for him. Something tells me he has had a hard life. Don't worry, Princess, you can count on us, Ramdas added, and the others nodded once more. Except for Twilight. She was feeling a little skeptical. Well, I have to be getting back to Canterlot. Farewell, my little ponies. With that, she got back into her chariot and flew back to Canterlot, leaving the 6 ponies to think about the current situation. With the eloquent princess gone, every pony thought more about what she said. Gohan was only 11 years old, and yet he had so much power. The way Princess Celestia described it, he could wipe out Equestria with ease. They didn't think he would ever do something so horrible, but it was still somewhat of a concern. Do you girls think it's safe to have Gohan around? Twilight wondered. What do you mean? I think he's fun, Pinky shouted with excitement. Didn't you hear Princess Celestia? He has the power to take over Equestria, the blue maned unicorn yelled. First knew she was just overreacting yet again. Well, yeah, but he's just as nice as Fluttershy. When we were fighting, he didn't seem interested in killing me, the Royal Pegasus noted. I have to admit, he is very polite. Donald thought back to her, encountered with him at Sweet Apple Acres. I guess you're right, but I still have this bad feeling. All of a sudden, a loud yell could be heard from the other side of Ponyville. Oh, this must be my bad feeling, Delco thought to herself. Both Spike and Insane ran outside. What was that? Sharky questioned with concern. Some point must be in trouble, Shy Pony noted. Where did the scream come from? Gohan asked. It came from over yonder, the orange pony pointed northwest. In an instant, the Saiyan flew over towards the location. He flew so fast he ended up blowing his friends away with his speed. I should take a moment to get up and for his departure, the others followed his trail. Within the evergreen forest, Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scooter were huddled together. All three of them were shaking violently as the two ferocious timberwolves were slowly approaching them. They were too scared to even move. The only thing they could think to do was scream and hope some pony hurt them. Unfortunately for the trio, no pony was coming. While the figure would take a little bit for a health to count, that wasn't good enough. It would only take a few seconds for it to kill them, and it seemed that the end was slowly drawing near. The fighters closed their eyes, awaiting their fate. Instead of the sounds of a jaw snapping, there was the sound of a kick, followed by a sliding sound. They slowly opened their eyes to see a strange creature standing in front of them. Said creature appeared to be on fire, except the flames were white. "Get out of here! I'll take these guys on!" Without hesitation, they ran towards Ponyfield, leaving the mysterious hero to fight the final Timberwolf. Along the way, they ran into their sisters and their friends. 6 ponies and dragon all had concerned looks on their faces. "What in the hay is going on?" The 4 pony asked as his face caught their breath. Scooter was doing a trick, and she lost her scooter. It landed in every forest. We went to go get when those Timberwolves ambushed us, Sweetie Belle explained. The fellows were a little worried that their friends would be mad, but they weren't. They were just relieved that they had them all alright. "What happened after that?" Pink Pony asked. "Some guy wearing orange came and saved us." It only took a second for the ponies to realize who saved them. "So Gohan is still with those wolves? We have to help him," Toy exclaimed as every pony retraced a few steps. A few moments later, they caught sight of the sand being slowly approached by the 2 wolves. They were about to step in when the sand flew up in the air and fired 2 energy blasts at the wolves, causing them to explode in a flash of light. As soon as the smoke cleared, it was revealed that the beasts were completely vaporized. They all had shocked looks on their faces. No pony has ever been able to beat a Timberwolf so fast. With the battle over, he looked over and saw his friends standing a few feet away, as well as the 3 ponies he had just rescued. He went over and made sure the little ponies were alright. "Are you 3 okay?" he asked. Yeah, we're okay," Pegasus answered. Neither one of them had ever seen anything like that before, and it took a little while for them to regain their respective composure. As soon as the shock wore off, they were ready to introduce themselves to the hero. "I'm Apple Bloom, Apple's little sister. Sweetie Belle, Fairy's little sister. And I'm Skillet. Together we are..." But they then paused before getting out the group name. "The Kitty Mark Crusaders." For some reason, Gohan couldn't help but be reminded of the Ginyu Force. Just a little bit. "It's nice to meet you, I'm Gohan." Each gave them a handshake, which was gladly returned. As he stared at the little ponies, he felt a warm feeling inside. After that little scare, the CMCs needed to relax. "Hey, we should get back to our clubhouse," Seabuck suggested, making the other 2 Crusaders cheer. "Bye, Gohan, we owe you one for saving our lives," they said in unison as they went back to their clubhouse to discuss what to do to get their kitty marks. "Thanks again for saving the 3 of them, darling." Ray stood up on her hind legs and gave the thing a kiss on the cheek. Little did she know she was sending Spike into a jealous rage. He blushed and scratched the back of his head. "It was nothing, really. I'm just glad they're okay." Everyone nodded in agreement. "Let's head back to Chiku Corner. We have to finish the party," Pony exclaimed. Just as Gohan was leaving, Spike tapped him on the leg. Upon getting his attention, he motioned his friend to lean in closer. Once close enough, he grabbed his friend by his shirt and brought him in close. "Listen, Buster, dream thing about Rarity. She's mine." The half-standers just started to laugh. Not at the dragon, but the idea of him and Rarity being together. "Well, you don't have to worry about that. She's all yours." Spike was sighed in relief. There was no way he could compete with some point like Gohan, as much as he hated to admit it. Lucky for him, he wouldn't have to worry about fighting for Rarity's honor. He and Gohan then made their way back to Chiku Corner. The ponies who were still at the party wondered what exactly happened. They thought they had heard a scream, but they weren't sure. And then all of a sudden, Spike ran out of the bakery with Spike in tow. Luckily, they got a full recap of what happened. They were all taken by surprise. Never before had they heard of some point battling Timberwolves, much less destroying them without any efforts. The fact that he had also saved several ponies made Gohan a hero, and the ponies weren't shy about acknowledging it. While he may have done something brave and noble, Gohan didn't really want all the special attention he was receiving. He was taught to do the right thing because it was the right thing to do. Fighting the Saiyans, battling Frieza and Namek, stepping up to defeat Cell, he did all those things because, again, it was the right thing to do. Besides, he didn't really want to become famous like Hercule had become. Even his fame came from the accomplishment of a child. "I must say, you're making quite the name for yourself," Mayor noted. "Yeah, but I prefer to not have this be such a big deal." In response to that statement, that Mayor raised an eyebrow. "You're saying you don't want ponies to know of your heroic deeds?" Saiyan nodded. do what I do for publicity. I do it to keep the world and everyone safe, he exclaimed. Heroic and modest, a good combination, Maymare chuckled loudly. Well, don't worry. I'll make sure every pony treats you the same as any other pony. Thank you, Maymare, he bowed. Another couple of hours went by, and the party was beginning to wind down. Every pony had their fun, but now it was time to leave and return to business as usual. Sugar Cube Corner was off the mess, which had been both expected and anticipated. Thankfully, Pinkie didn't have to clean up herself. Several of the party guests offered to help, including her friends. It didn't take too long to clean up, and after that, the ponies all parted ways. Outside the bakery, the element bearers, Spike and Gohan, were gathered. They were getting ready to say goodbye to their goodbyes. This was some party saying goodbye, but I think I should be returning home. Those trees ain't gonna bug themselves. Abject laughed as she headed home. Yeah, and I have some studying to catch up on. The purple alicorn and her assistant waved goodbye to their friends before heading out to the library. And so the others left as well. All of them returned to their own matters. Thanks again for everything, Pinkie. I had a lot of fun, Cohen said as he waved goodbye to the mayor. Of course, Jay, that's what friends do. She probably would have started singing, but since she was the only one left, she didn't. So instead, she just waved goodbye to her two friends. The Sand and the Pegasus began heading home as well. Along the way, Gohan noticed Flashlight stop suddenly. He looked over and noticed a sad look on her face. He could just tell something was wrong. What's wrong, Flashlight? You look sad. It's just that you have become a good friend, and I don't want to see you getting hurt. Are you talking about what happened with the Timberwolves? Huey said with a slow nod. Don't worry, Flashlight. I'll be fine. But if it will make you feel better, I'll try not to get into too much trouble. She smiled and gave her friend a hug, and they could take her on home. As the duo walked the half-state and started thinking about his new life. He had been in the quest for a day, and he was starting to get used to it. Of course, there were still things he needed to do and learn in this new world, but he had a feeling that everything would be alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed this chapter, and I had a sudden realization. If you think about it, Gohan is the elements of harmony all rolled into one. He's kind, generous, loyal, honest, magic, and laughter. Sometimes, it's happy a good amount of time. And yes, I still think Celestia would be able to feel Cell's power, and show the Makans were able to feel his power. And that plan was very far away. Not too many changes in this one. It was mostly general edits. Stay tuned for more updates. R&R and peace out.